everyone, welcome back to another live episode of the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show here at the Smokin' Studios. Thank you so much for coming back for another Thursday show. We've got an absolutely fantastic guest on tonight, Aric Bey of Black Star Line Cigars, Chicago-based, my hometown cigar company. Actually, we grew up, and we've talked about this in the show, we grew up like what feels like maybe less than a mile or two from each other. I know it's probably a little bit longer, but not too crazy far. So it's always fun to have Aric back on the show. Quick little shout outs here to all the sponsors that remotely make this show possible. But first, let's say hi to Josh. How you doing, brother? And then Bruce. Bruce, how you doing, brother? Thank you very much for joining in. Big shout out to BAMF, ROCF. I updated it. It's fixed. It doesn't have the extra I in it. Thank you so much. So, Ish, if you're watching, I've got this fixed for you. I'm on top of it. We've got Kristoff Cigars, Sagrado Cigars, Micallef Cigars, a big Sky Cigars, Cornell and Diehl Pipe Tobacco, as well as the Sagrado Cigars, West Tampa Tobacco Company, the big man Steve Saga over at Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. And tonight we will be drinking the Axe and the Oak regular bourbon tonight. And of course, thank you so much to Abe and family down there at Smokin' Cigars for sponsoring the show and being part of a partnership in the show with me as well. So thank you very much to everyone that makes this show possible. Couldn't do it without you. And quick little other show news here. So if you guys are going to be in the area on July 26th between 6 to 10 p.m., please come and join us at our third annual Rocky Mountain Cigar Night. This year we changed venues. We will be at Salt and Acres Vineyard out in Fort Lupton, Colorado. We not only outgrew the original venue the first year, but we absolutely exploded the venue the second year, so much so that there wasn't enough parking. There wasn't enough. It was a great event. But that second year, thank you so much to everybody that is a part of this event. That second year, we outgrew the venue that, quite honestly, I didn't think we were going to outgrow for a couple years. So this year, we're looking at 150 people. Last year, we were at 100 people. So this year, we're at 150 people out at Salt and Acres Vineyard. It's going to have open bar, appetizers. It's not a dinner. Come pre-eaten a little bit. All right. These are appetizers. Open bar, coffee, soft drinks as well. We're looking at a 5-pack at a minimum of cigars. Last year, we were able to not only release 2 brand new cigars on the market, the Lilith from Sagrado and the West Tampa Red at the event. That was the first event those cigars were featured at outside of PCA. We also were able to give 9 cigars away with the ticket. You're familiar with Colorado laws and Colorado taxations, that's almost $150 right there. Very easily can be that. Plus, we have challenge coins and live music and live and silent auctions as well. Tickets are sold on eventbrite.com. You can go there now. There's not very many left. So if you're going to be in the area on July 26th, please go to eventbrite.com, search Rocky Mountain Cigar Night, and you can buy yourself a ticket. They are going very quickly. So please get them while you can, or else you have to wait for next year. Last year we raised 30 grand. 30 grand. I'm so proud of this group. We raised 30 grand for a veteran, a wounded warrior to get a dog. And this year we're presenting the dog to the vet at the event. Obviously, it won't be the first time he has seen the dog, but it'll be officially his dog. We're looking to come up with maybe a cool little patch or something like that that we could put on with the group's logo or something, just to show that this is what this cigar community was able to do. We were able to raise enough money. Never thought we would. To be very honest, I was very much blown away and almost hit the ground last year. We went from 8 grand the first year to 30 grand the second year. Incredible group. And this is not me taking credit for a damn thing. All I did was put people in a room together. It was everyone's hearts and thoughts and everything else that they're giving this that made that group raise that 30 grand this last year, hoping maybe for 60 grand, but I will be so happy if we just are able to raise the 30 grand each year to buy one dog a year for a vet. That's kind of way the group is going forth at this point. So it truly does mean a lot. It's a passion of mine, and it's taken a mind of its own, and my partner and I are just blown away. So, well, enough yimmer yammy and yapping up from me. Sure as shit, nobody comes here to either look or really hear me talk. Most of the time, they just come here to hear the guests. And I tell you what, the guest we have tonight is much easier on the eyes than me. We were actually just talking, and I told him I could never leave Colorado. I am way too mountain man looking right now. Like just no other state I don't think would have me, or I'd have to shave or something. But how you doing tonight, Aric? Oh, we got a little bit of a connection problem.
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm just hoping my wife is weird.
Yeah, you're coming through.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're
You think I should jump on my
awesome.
Wi-Fi and see if that work out better?
Um, well, let's see how this goes. If this fails through, then
Okay.
yeah, we'll jump on Wi-Fi. As long as the
Okay.
voice comes through, I'm not too concerned about the picture.
Mm,
Um, So, Aric, it's been a little over a year since the last time you were on the show. You've had
yeah, it's
a
been a minute.
ton of growth. You've had a ton of growth. You've had several new things come out. You've had
Yeah,
redesigned labels. You have
yeah.
been moving and shaking this company up in so many great ways that it's awesome to be able to see. So, give
Yeah.
us an update. How did people take to the La Bella label change? Last time we spoke, you were just kicking that out. So
Hmm.
how was that accept? Did people do the blends changed? Oh, the blends changed.
Surprisingly not, and I'm glad. But when you smoke it, you can tell the blend hasn't changed at all. I just needed the band to reflect the quality of the tobacco because the original band just didn't do it for me. It merged right in with the wrapper, so you really couldn't tell the band from the wrapper. But when Dojo redid the band for me, now the band is very colorful. It pops, it catch your eye. It matches the tobacco now.
Absolutely. So, what else have you been up to? Because you've been doing a lot. I mean, you're slamming it over there at Benny's
Hmm.
in Illinois.
Hmm. Hmm.
So what's been new for you? And then we'll get into some PCA.
Well, we dropped Rosewood and Mr. Fahrenheit. Um, Rosewood was done through Oveja Negra, Black Label Trading Company. Mr. Fahrenheit was rolled by Tabacalera La Isla in Santiago, Dominican Republic. So those are two new factories that I started working with last year. I still work with Aganorsa. I also picked up La Zona as well, or should I say they picked me up because the project I'm doing with La Zona was actually their team's idea, so they brought it to me. I thought it was a good idea when it was presented to me, and I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So that release is going to be called Maroon, Marun. So Maroon in the Yoruba tribe in Nigeria, that Maroon translates to five. So I call it the fifth five because this is our 5th year anniversary cigar. So I'm doing my 5th year anniversary with Eric Espinosa. So yeah, man. So we've been moving. I got a special release coming out through Dojo as well. That'll be out like sometime in July. That one is through Aganorsa. It's Corojo 2012 wrapper, Corojo 2012 binder, and San Andreas Jalapa and Esteli in the filler. So it's a Toro 6x52. So yeah, so I've been busy, bro. Yeah, really
Yeah,
busy.
you've been incredibly busy. Bruce, you are on top of how I do this show. So good. No, I didn't forget it. I was just talking to him a little bit. I was waiting to hear that lighter strike up again and then go, hey, I tell you what, that brings in the thing I want to talk about next. What are you
Hmm.
smoking tonight? Sponsored by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Thank you so much, Steve Saka. So, Aric, what are
What's up?
you smoking tonight?
I'm actually smoking Maroon right now. So I'm smoking one of the samples that was from PCA. So I'm smoking that right now. See how it's burning and all that stuff. So
Can we see it?
and then yeah, I'll show it to you. It's got the sample band on there. So all it says is BSL Maroon on there. I don't even know if you can see that.
No,
So
no,
it's
no.
not the production band on there. So but yeah, it's I'm just tightening something up on the cigar here. There we go.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's what I'm smoking. I'm smoking the 5th year anniversary cigar.
So,
Hmm.
since you're smoking that, let's just start there then. And please, I don't push, I don't pry, I don't twist your arm. Give the information that you want to give, leave it where you don't want to leave it. But
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that cigar if you can. How does it smoke? It's a Lazona, so are we expecting pepper?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a Sumatra wrapper with Nicaraguan binder and fillers, 6x50. So it's a skinny Toro. So that's the first time I've ever used that size before. Because like Rosewood from Oveja Negra is a 6x48. And then the other Coronas that I use, they're usually a 6x46, a traditional Corona Gorda. But yeah, so it's an Ecuadorian Sumatra with a Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler. It's medium full. It's got pepper in there. It's cream. It's got nutty cedar. All that's in there. So uh, it's a very good blend. I was proud of how it came out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Steve, for sponsoring the What Are You Smoking Tonight segment. We've got a new one. Aric is smoking the 5-year anniversary, which has not been released yet. So
Right.
that's going to be medium to full. What
Hmm.
is it? Is Does it have Eric's like thumbprint? Meaning, if somebody has never had yours, but they're a Lazona guy, are they going to be able to kind of feel that same Black Star footprint, but a little bit of Lazona in there with the heavy retro hail and the spice and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a mixture of the two. So it's a mixture of me and Hector, the master blender for Espinosa. So it's a mixture between the two of us on this project. So very similar to Overhead Negra, the roles were released. It was a mixture between me and James. It wasn't like exclusively me this time,
Sure.
you know. And like in past releases, it's exclusively me that did it. But those two releases, it was a combination between me and Hector or me and James Brown.
So when is this one coming out again?
God willing, June. Just waiting for the boxes. The
Okay.
cigars have been done like a couple months ago. So they just been in the agent room. And the bands are there. Everything is there. We just need the boxes. So that's all we're waiting on. So hopefully it's June. If not late June, then like the first week of July, somewhere in there. So it'll be for the summertime.
And is that
Hmm.
primarily what you're smoking now?
What maroon?
The maroon? Just kind of in your own world when
No,
you're smoking? No.
no. I smoke everything, bro. Yeah, everything.
I
Yeah,
didn't know since you're like,
no.
oh, by 5 year, I'm going to smoke it like crazy type
Mm.
thing.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I got new sizes of Bella. I got new sizes of Dark Warwich. I've been smoking those. I've been smoking other company stuff. I'm all over the place, bro. There's really no rhyme or reason of what I'm smoking and what I'm not. So
I tell you guys, Aric is one of the hardest working people in the cigar industry. He has his hands in everything and he's constantly getting better. His
yeah,
collaborations that he's doing, He has fun with it, and when you talk to him and you see the smiles and everything, he has fun with it. So tell us a little bit about what you can on the dojo release, because I can't. I'm looking so
Yeah.
forward to that. So forward to
Yeah,
that.
so well, I told you the blend already. It's a Corojo
Oh
2012
yes,
wrapper, a Corojo 2012 binder, Esteli Jalapa and San Andreas in the filler. It's that should be coming out July-ish. Like we're anticipating like July 26th maybe, or the 19th, one somewhere in there. So I'll be flying down to. I'll actually be coming down to Denver to do interview with Aric and Jordan in the Dojo House to talk about the release. And you know, I'm not sure how it works. I mean, maybe it's going on sale that day while we're doing the interview or
yeah,
something like
that's
that.
usually
Maybe
how
I
they
don't know.
do it. Yeah, they
Okay,
open the sales like during the show.
yeah, and it's going to be sold through Smoke Inn. So
Yeah.
you know, those that already have accounts with them and all that, I'm sure you'll be able to get the cigars very easy. They are going to sell out fast. It's, like I said, it's me doing my Aganorsa thing. Like I laid that blend down, bro. So, and that's the reason why Aric and Jordan wanted to use it, because it's a damn good blend. So,
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Aric, they're not going to be easy to get, because you've got, I don't know how many boxes, and in the smoking social group alone, there's almost 6,000 people, and each one of those are for sure all followers and purchasers at smoke. You got what? How many boxes?
it's 300 bundles of 10.
300
So there's
bundles of
3,000.
10. So there's going to
Yep,
be
there's
like
3,000 cigars total.
99% of smoking socials going to be angry when they're sold out in a half hour to an hour. Like,
Yeah, those gonna sell fast,
they're
bro.
gonna go. I know. I've
Very
got
fast.
2 bundles with my name on it. I'm looking forward to it. I think, dude, this is so awesome. From the last time we spoke, you know, you were moving, you were growing, but man, these last like 2 years, you've exploded out.
Yeah.
You're doing dojo collaboration. Like, that's really all you got to say is there's a lot of companies that beg for that, and they went
Yeah.
with you because they trust you. They trust your quality, and that says a lot about you.
Yeah, they believe in me. They've always believed in me, and that's why. I don't know if you saw the last interview I did with Dojo, but they said it on the air. The reason why they started doing my branding for my bands and all that, because they believed in me, and they felt my journey was very special, and they wanted to be a part of the journey too. And this is their way of being part of the journey. And I couldn't ask for anybody better to do my bands, you know, do the artwork for it.
Oh, right here, July 7/18 is my birthday. Could be your celebration stick.
Yeah, it'd
Absolutely.
be a good one. Yeah, it'd be a
I'm
good one
telling
for
you. I'm telling you, I was able to see the band. I can't show you, won't show you,
it.
but my
Yeah, the band is
God,
awesome.
it's like a tattoo. Like, it should be a
Yeah.
fucking tattoo. It is bad
hmm
ass. Like, whoever designed
hmm
that was amazing. Thank you for your service as a
Dojo.
first
That was
responder
Dojo's work too.
firefighter. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Come on. You're
Thank
really
you. I
a great
appreciate that.
guy. Yes, John. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And he loves your cigars too. So no,
Thank
Richard,
you.
I'm
Thank you.
telling
Thank you.
you, you're gonna want to get your hands on a bundle of this. The band alone, forget the band alone is worth having. Like, my God, it is awesome. We all get into the geeky
hmm
ways of this stuff, and the artwork is part of the fun of cigars. So, but so tell us
Oh
a
yeah.
little bit, how have you been growing? How was PCA for you? Did you like it better in March?
Mm. Um. Well, PCA seemed like it was a little slower. We still sold very well, but it just seemed like it wasn't as many people there. And I think it's because it wasn't a full year reset from the last PCA. It's still, you know, people still were getting their orders from the last PCA. Even in my travels, I've seen, like, you know, lounges say like, "Oh man, we just got this in like a month ago," you know, and it was from the last PCA. So I think in New Orleans it'll be back to the regular attendance because they'll have that full amount of time to, you know, sell the product that they got from the last PCA or this PCA, and then they'll be ready to re-up on different things. But we still did well. You know, I debuted Maroon there. I had some samples of that, so I gave it to my existing customers so they can smoke it and check it out and see what they're purchasing. You know, as far as growth, yeah, man, we picked up some good accounts. The most notable account that we picked up recently was Casa de Monte Cristo. So they picked us up in 5 locations to start off with. You know, see how it goes with the 5 locations, and then we're supposed to expand from there. So we got 2 Casa de Monte Cristos in Houston. We got 1 in Dallas. We got 1 in Washington, D.C., and then we have 1 in Southfield, Michigan. So I'll be going around to anybody who lives near those areas. I'll be stopping in all of those and doing cutting lights. Only one I won't be in is Southfield because Richard Brad, my sales manager, is going to handle that one because he lives up right near the location. The other ones I'm flying out to do the cutting light myself.
Awesome. So since you landed those 5, is there opportunity then to get into the others?
Yeah. So that's why I'm really making sure that things start off right from Jump Street and showing up myself. When the cigars get there, I'm showing up to do a cutting light. Everybody can meet me from Jump. We all smoke. We talk about it, have some fun, you know, and then just keep expanding from there.
Mm-hmm. So how many shops are you in now? And is there an online shop that you direct everyone to?
There's no particular one I gravitate to. On my website, it says there's a where to buy section on there, and it has all the online shops and it has the physical shops that we're in. So I mean, there's
Very
small batch, there's
diplomatic
black,
answer. Very
yeah,
diplomatic answer.
BL Luxuries. I mean, there's a lot. We have a lot of nice online shops. Underground has one, so you can because I don't sell direct to consumer anymore. So
tell he's from
I had
Chicago.
to make sure.
That was a very, very, very politicized answer. Just go on his website. He's got a ticker. I didn't know if there was a special deal or something he had going on with the website. So go to his website. He's got a tracker. Look for your local area, but then look for online shops too. Buy his stuff if you haven't had it. I don't know what you're waiting for, man. You're really wasting time, and you don't have to be anymore. Go out, buy a 5-pack, buy a box. Do yourself a favor. Treat yourself some great tobacco. So,
yeah, and this is a good time to get my stuff because I literally have everything back in stock. So, like Lalibela was gone for a while. It's back though, and not only is it back, but it's back with Lalibela Lancetto. It's back with Lalibela Robusto. Then Dark Warwick has a pig size of 4.75 by 60. And that joke is very good. If you like the Dark Warwick blend, that is very good in that size, you know. So I brought those new sizes out to entertain the people, you know. So,
hey, Randy asks, are you going to be at the Casa in Nashville?
we're not carried there yet, so not
Yeah,
yet.
okay, not yet, Randy.
When they pick us up, I will. Yeah,
but
when they pick us up, I will be there.
He'll drive there. He's only about 8 hours from Nashville, so right?
Oh,
8 to 10.
Shit, that's far, bro.
Oh, that's far. Oh, I'm sorry. I drove back from Illinois to Colorado all the time. I would rather drive than fly. You hit a certain point when you're driving where you're just like, well, never mind. So
yeah, if it's over 3 hours, I'm on a plane, bro. My parents took me everywhere in the back of a station wagon when I was a kid, so they kind of stained me, dude. Like, I mean, to Florida, Las Vegas, Mount Rushmore, DC. I've been everywhere in the back of a station wagon, and I can't do it. So yeah, if it's over 3 hours, I'm on a plane. You know, I'll be smoking by the time you get. I'll be smoking by the time you even get there.
I don't know if you said this. Did you name the 5 casas you're going to? Because people are trying to guess which ones you are.
DC, 2 in Houston.
2 in Houston.
2 in Houston and in Dallas. So
okay,
be doing those events personally.
Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, Richard Bratton will be doing the one in Southfield because he doesn't live too far away from there. So.
Okay. So Bruce, there will be one. So fantastic, awesome. Let's see. All right. So, how many shops are you in now?
Hmm. It's still like right around 100, somewhere in there. It may be a little bit over 100, 110, maybe somewhere in there. You know,
That's still
I think we
that's
did a
still
good job
really
for the
good.
first 5 years.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah, you did,
yeah,
dude. That's really,
yeah. I think
really
that's a good
good.
job. Yeah.
Considering
So,
considering what? How many brands in the cigar world do you know of that 99% of us don't, that never make it outside of year one, that you hear
a
about?
gazillion.
For a cigar
Yeah,
brand, yes. For a
yeah.
cigar
There's a lot of
brand to
them,
go
bro.
5 years, dude. I mean, huge props to you, man. Cheers. What are you
Mm,
drinking tonight?
mm. Yo, my good buddy Richie Riot Otero was here yesterday. So he brought me a bottle of Santa Teresa 1796. There's some rum that was aged in a Scotch barrel.
Oh, so does it
So
have that peaty feel to it?
no, it's space sides. You know, a lot of space side scotches are
Okay,
there's
it's
no
the
peat
space side.
in there at all.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's actually pretty good. I'm not a fan of rum really at all, but because no, typically rum is too sweet for me, and I don't like sweet drinks. But this rum is not too sweet, and it has a decent proof to it. It's like right around 92 proof. I usually like to be around 100 proof when I'm drinking scotch and stuff, scotch and bourbon, but I can go down to 90, and I usually go up to like maybe like 130 proof. You know, if I'm really in my bag, I'll get real hot with it. You know what I'm saying? So uh,
Have you ever had a cask strength bourbon?
yeah, several times. I've probably
Okay,
drank
well,
whole bottles of them at this point.
so this was the first cask, because I was never really a bourbon drinker. Before
Okay.
moving to Colorado, I was really only a Scotch guy. And then when I came to
Hmm.
Colorado, I found the cask, this from Axe of
Hmm.
the Oak cask strength, and this one
Okay.
sits at 120 proof, 121 proof.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
gave a little taste of it to my father-in-law, who's never had cask strength, and he's like, "Oh," he
Hmm.
goes, "That is." I mean, it's 20% hotter than normal proof. It
Yeah.
should be around 80 to 100.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
so what?
So
So how has Cliff been? How has the team been? Are you guys growing the team, or are you trying to keep it mean and lean?
Coach doing good. Um, he's still rocking out as my VP of sales. I have no complaints about him. He works hard. And he goes everywhere with me when I go on the road. Um,
I'm
the team
asking
has
because Greg
grown.
Greg Lee said, "Where's Cliff?"
Hmm. Hmm. So yeah, the team did grow. Richard Bragg came as a national sales manager, so he's up in Detroit. Um, and then we picked up Albert Cisneros is our rep in the South. Smoking Swan is the name of his brokerage. Doug Sifford is our rep, like in the Kentucky area. He handles like 7 states for us. Tim Wong is our rep on the West Coast. Cali, Washington. Um, I think I don't think he has Arizona, but he has the West Coast for us, and we're trying to bring in the trendsetters for us to finish up the West Coast for us too. Um, yeah, and then Mimi lives in Sacramento. She does like social media for us and stuff like that. So, but yeah, they're definitely additions to the team to help us push. You know, Albert's the reason why we have a presence in Louisiana now, because I rode with him in Louisiana and we hit a lot of shops, and we got picked up by some in Metairie, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. So yeah. So we picked up some new stuff while we were out there.
Did you
Mhm.
guys try to make your way down to Carl Malone's place?
No, I'm not a huge fan of Karl Malone, so I don't
Oh,
really
oh,
bother
I
with him.
just know that he. Oh, okay. I just know they got
Hmm.
a decent sized shop in Louisiana. That's all I know about it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan of Karl Malone by any means. So, yeah. And then Albert didn't recommend we go there anyway. I don't even know where it is. So I know it's in Louisiana somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I don't either. I just know his daughters run it. That's all I know. Is that
Hmm.
he sits there in the
Hmm.
corner, smokes cigars. and you can't talk to him about basketball. That's all I know. He gets very
Yeah.
upset. But
No.
very
All right.
good reasons. I mean, we all saw the Last Dance, right? I mean, but so as you've been growing like this, because you're in over 100 shops now. You're working on your 50th anniversary cigar with a really big company. You've got another really big release with Dojo collaboration. Like you're doing really really well. Is it been hard to not be like pedal down to the metal and meaning to not stretch yourself thin and go, oh, I just want to grow and grow and grow, but kind of are you at the spot where you can like strategically pick and choose? Does that question make sense?
Mm. When you saying strategic pick and choose what?
So like when a young company oftentimes gets really big, oftentimes they can
Mm.
get too big too quick and a lot of things suffer.
Mm. Mm.
Is
Mm.
it been has it been hard for you to kind of rein in some of that when and you'd be like, let's push it out a year. Let's do that next year. And to try to not get in front of your skis.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because I have other blends here that I'm smoking that I put
I
together,
know you
and
do.
I would
You
love,
don't
yeah,
stop. I know.
I would love to put them out, but yeah, like you're saying, like I don't want to just keep pumping releases out like that. I do space it out, because I'm already thinking about what I'm going to release for PCA for 2025. So yeah, because one of them it's Dominican Corojo 99 wrapper with the Dominican binder, and then the filler has Pelo de Oro in there, Matafina. Um, I, I think it was Jalapa in there too, if I remember right. It's a damn good blend though. It's like a solid medium, just solid medium strength, but full flavor. You know, so yeah, I'm always working, bro, and I always have something that's aging, and I'm smoking it and trying to see, like, okay, do I need to change something with it? Is it cool? Just trying to see how I think the market is gonna accept it. So
So how do
yeah, but yeah,
you
you got to be strategic about it.
yeah, because you have these blends, but you don't want to shoot your wad in one go and now you're all of a sudden, making more. You've got what, 3 this year, 4 this year that are coming out.
Yeah.
And then next year you probably got equal amount or whatever coming out as
Mm-hmm.
well. How
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing the internal discussion between like you and Cliff, who's the one that just says just put it out there, and who's the one that kind of goes, it's not ready yet? Who's the pusher and who's the puller?
Cliff is the one that says let's hold off. I'm the one that's like, yo, let's drop it, let's drop it. Yo, I love it. I like because when people know I drop in the release, they're like, oh, this like this fucker gonna be good. And yeah. So yeah, I'm the one that says drop it. But then I listen to the team and see what they want to do, and if we need to wait, we wait. Mm-hmm.
Is it kind of like frustrating when you are sitting on something? Because I know for me, I buy a gift for somebody or I get something, I'm just like, oh, look at my new TV. Oh, look at this. Like I just bought you, like I bought a gift for my wife for Mother's Day like 3 weeks ago, and I had to hide it from
Okay.
myself. So I didn't like look at it and be like, I just want to give it to you. Like I don't want to even have it in my possession anymore. Like
Was it a dress?
how no, we can't really talk about it on air. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, but like, how hard is that for you to 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 hold off? Because for me, I just want to put it out too.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me because I like dropping the press release
Yeah,
and letting everybody know like something's coming because it just generates a nice buzz for us. And I love that buzz that we get. Like when we were at PCA, people were telling us like they were like, dude, like y'all got a phenomenal buzz going on with the company, bro. Like, because they PCA did an article on me in their magazine,
hmm
so that was a good article. And so that set us up for PCA for a lot of people that hadn't never heard of us before. If they saw the magazine and they saw me in there, and then they were kind of familiar, and then they saw what factories I work with, and that, it gives me a lot of credit because I work with great factories. That I work with factories some other people can't get into. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I do get anxious and I want to drop stuff, but it's all about patience and timing.
Yeah, and as a business owner, patience and timing, or at least learning patience and timing, is key to success.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you could bury yourself, or you could just be lost because you didn't put anything out new.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
So,
where does Aric find a comfortable? How do you find that comfortable spot to where you can keep the buzz going, but you're not over releasing? And I asked the question because there's a lot of brands that every time you turn around or click on Cigar Coop, there's a new release. And you're like, dude, 12
yeah,
releases a year, like for real? Like, come on. Like you're
yeah. I don't
recycling
have
at
enough
this
money for
point,
that.
but like,
Yeah.
but so like, how does what's Aric's theory around timing and patience?
Well, my strategy is to release something that's technically old but still new, and then something that's brand new. Now, when I say something that's old but still new, I start off my sizes with Corona sizes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I start filling in the line from there. So, like for instance with Lalibela, it started off with a Toro and a Gordo. Then it's still the same blend, but I expanded the line by adding a Lancero, and then I added the Robusto. So that's something old, but it's still new because it's a whole new size. You know, then I release something that's totally new. Like when Rosewood came out, or when Fahrenheit came out, or when Maroon comes out, that's totally new. I'm fine with releasing one or two brand new cigars a year. The other ones I'm gonna release, they're gonna be new sizes, to fill in the line.
And that's a good way to do it too, because especially obviously you're filling in lines that are selling like crazy or selling more to where you
Mm-hmm.
feel the extension is valid.
Yeah.
And that's also key, right? Putting a
Mm-hmm.
cigar out that nobody's going to buy is doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
recognizing the cigar sizes that will be out. So are you finding your extensions? Are you getting a lot of like requests for 6x60s? Because I'm asking because
Mm,
I've been told that that's like the number one request for cigars size wise between a lot of manufacturers. So I'm curious about you.
Toros and Robustos are the number one selling sizes, like across the board. They're the Gordos aren't far behind them though. There are a lot of people that like that big fat cigar. You know what I'm saying? Because it smokes for a long time. And you're getting a lot of bang for your buck because you're able to smoke it for a long time or whatever. I'm not a huge fan of Gordos at all. That's why I want right now only have one, and that's in Lalibela. The Lalibela Gordo. That's the only one that I have right now.
And I'm
I
actually
will come out with
shocked
more of
that
them
you
because they
have
do
that.
sell.
And see, I'm shocked
Well,
that you
that's a
have that. That's why I asked the question,
mm,
are you getting a lot of requests?
yeah, yeah. So Lalibela was actually blended as a Gordo size. That was the original size that blend was for, and that's
I
because it
never
was for
had
Tim
that
Hardaway.
reference.
Yeah, yeah. Tim Hardaway won. I did that cigar for Tim Hardaway, and me and him didn't know how to do the deal, so we tabled it. So I'm not sitting there. That blend is fantastic. So I changed the name and brought it out. But it was blended in a Gordo size. And then what I did was I scaled it down to a Toro size for those that didn't want to smoke the Gordo. In my opinion, the Toro is better because it's stronger because you cut the
Yes.
filler down some, the Ligero kicks in more.
Yeah, I never knew
Mm.
that story.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
you made that for
Yeah, that was
Tim
supposed to be Tim
Hardaway?
Hardaway cigar, bro. Yep.
As in
Yeah, he's a
like
family friend of mine.
the
Yeah,
basketball
yeah.
player?
UTEP two step. Yeah, UTEP two step. Yep. Golden State Warriors. Yeah, that's my
Oh
guy.
yeah. Wow. Okay. 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 Is he from Chicago?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The high school he went to, my dad worked his whole career there. That's how he's a family friend. He knew my dad. Hmm.
okay. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I didn't know you had a
Mhm.
quote unquote celebrity cigar. Look at my
Yeah,
God, his profile just gets better every time I talk to him. I'm telling you guys, if you're
yeah,
not smoking Eric's stuff, you're missing out on a crazy ride and a lot
yeah.
of fun. I
Yeah,
had no idea.
Dominique Wilkins reached out to me to ask me to do a cigar for him too. So
Now
yeah,
you're just
I
showing
got
up.
some. Yeah, he's a cool dude. I got Dominique's number in my phone. So yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah.
Now he's showing up. But send that over. I would love to have him on the show if I could. Well, that's awesome, man. So I'm curious. Last time you came on, we didn't get a whole lot into your firefighting background. Um, but I am curious to know a little bit
Okay.
how you are full time Black Star Line, correct? You're breaking up here.
Yeah, I've been retired from the fire department for. What about now? Is it fine?
Yeah, you're good.
You good now?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today, bro. It is raining pretty hard here
that's
too, so
probably what it
maybe that's
is.
it. I don't know.
That's probably what it is.
Because normally when I'm on StreamYard, it doesn't really buffer like that, but it's doing it today, so it might be the weather. Anyway, yeah, I've been retired for like 4 years now. So I got hurt on the job. I tore my labrum in my hip really bad, my right hip. I had to have surgery on it. I had to go through 4 doctors to find one that was confident enough to fix it. And he fixed it, but it's not firefighter ready. I couldn't get on somebody's roof and cut a hole in the middle of Chicago winter and drag people out like I used to. I'm just not. I'm not this. My body's not the same. And then I had a bilateral bunionectomy, so I had surgery on both of my feet too. Because when I started the fire department, it was giving us those cheap ass yellow and black boots, and it just tore my feet up.
Oh,
So I
those
would be at
rubber
events.
boots.
Yeah, I would be at events, and if I stood too long, by the end of the day, the outer edges of both of my big toes would go numb. So I went to the podiatrist, and he tapped on that bunion. He was like, "Dude, it's probably a nerve or something trapped in there." And he was like, "The only way you could fix it is surgery." So I bit the bullet and did it. It was probably one of the worst surgeries that's known to man because it's just painful, and your feet can potentially swell up to a year after the surgery. So yeah, now my feet feel great now, but yeah, bro, that was a rough run for me.
Wow. I'll tell you, I don't think I could ever, even in my best shape, jump up on an icy roof in Chicago, cut a hole through, and jump in. So the
Yeah.
fact that you were ever able to do that is leaps and bounds over where I feel like I would be able to be at. I mean,
Well, you don't jump in though, that because you don't know what you're jumping into. When you're cutting a hole in the roof, you're ventilating the house so that when the engine goes in, they can see where they're going. It lets the smoke out. So we're working as
isn't
a
that
team.
also for the white water and stuff when they spray it down to get inside too a little bit better?
Yeah,
Or
they can spray it in there too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that was just part of the job. I was more so search and rescue, especially if you're the first truck on the scene. You're search and rescue. You're looking for victims. So I was more. I used to cut holes in the roofs, but I was more so kicking in doors and going in and trying to find bodies or somebody alive so we can get them out of there. And you also the first truck is the one that opens up the house or the building. They open it up for the engine to get in there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm very good at beating down doors and getting in stuff that I'm not technically supposed to be in. I can get in it. If I had the right tools with me.
feel bad for your daughter's future boyfriends because there's no hiding from you. There's no. I feel like you'd be like Uncle Buck with the drill and the. It's like, yeah, I'm coming through.
Yeah,
Hey, I got
yeah,
a
that's a
3 year
throwback
old
right
daughter,
there.
right? I got a 3 year
Hmm.
old daughter, man. I already feel bad for whoever she ends up dating in
Hmm.
life.
Hmm.
But so, how long were you a firefighter for?
I was on the job 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Would you still be on the job now if not for Black Star? Obviously, without the injuries too, but is that something you saw yourself doing for your life?
I would have worked at least 20 years on the job, and I would have retired at 20. But you know, the big guy upstairs had a different plan for me. So he wanted me to sell cigars full time. So I'm doing it.
Hey, it's a lot easier on the body. You
Yeah,
know,
it is, bro.
it's a
It
lot
is,
easier on the
man.
body. Well, it
Yeah.
depends on your Friday and Saturday nights when you're traveling, but
hmm
most of the
And
time it's
also, when I tore the labrum in my hip, I also herniated a disc real bad in my lower back. So yeah, I was pretty messed up, bro.
okay.
Mhm.
So, Mike, we're going to derail here for what I was going to ask next. Mike asked a question here. Have you ever deconstructed a cigar from another blend?
I cut cigars open all the time. If I don't like them, I cut them open because I want to see what's in there. I want to see how the tobacco smells in there, you know, on the inside. I want to see how it's rolled, how it looks. And I also look because some people they'll sell you a cigar at a premium price, and then you open that fucker up and there's short filler in there. You know, so I look at that as well. I am not skilled enough to just look at random tobacco and be like, "Oh, this is jalapa right here." No, I'd be lying to you if I said that. So
I don't know that there's a whole lot of people on the planet that could do that. There definitely
yeah,
is, I think.
yeah.
But
If somebody can do it, I give them all the props because one leaf looks like the same shit to me. You know, unless if I don't know the blend, yeah, I won't be able to tell you like, oh yeah, this is such and such. That's such and such. I wouldn't know. You know.
it's hard to blind taste test a cigar and actually like
Mm,
go, that's X this with this in it, you know. Um, I personally have not been able to. So, all right. So
yeah.
you're a firefighter now. Where in Chicago were you stationed?
Truck 24. Well, it used to be Truck 24. It's Tower Ladder 24 now. It's on 104th and Vincennes. So
Okay.
actually, the where I was working at is literally like 5 minutes away from my house. So, and I was the cook for the firehouse too. So I would go, you know, buying groceries, and I'll stop back by the house and check on my wife and make sure she's good, and you know, and finish shopping, and you know, and then go back to the firehouse and cook, and you know, make sure all the troops were fed, and then we smoke cigars in the kitchen and wait for a fire.
Now you take the fire truck to Walmart, right? Like you just hop in it, eat out of the box.
No. So I would drive my personal
I
vehicle on this one,
figured you
but
would
no,
take.
I mean, dude, no, there are firehouses that will take the rig to the store. You know, if it's a smaller house and everybody has to go, yeah, we'll all go and go shopping, or we'll be on the rig and like, oh, there's a cigar shop right there. We don't have any cigars at the house, and we'll stop by there and buy cigars. Like, yeah, you know.
So
So,
you worked at a cigar firehouse too. They were a big, or
oh, damn
is that
near.
normal? Is that normal in the firehouse
Shit, bro.
world?
Let me tell you something, bro. One of my favorite houses to work at is on 16th Pulaski over in K Town on the west side. They start smoking cigars at 0800, 8 o'clock in the morning. We're at our morning roundup smoking cigars, bro. So, yeah, like some houses smoke more than others. Some are just like a fucking chimney in there, bro. Like everybody's just smoking all day long. You know, like damn near 24 hours just smoking. And I loved it too. So,
No, that's awesome. So, this is probably I don't know if you get into like fire shows or anything, and I'm not talking about like Chicago Fire, not that. But there's a funny show on Netflix that my wife and I've gotten into, Tacoma FD.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Okay, it in no way, shape, or form takes itself serious. But have you ever seen Super
Mm.
Troopers?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the
It's made
same
by the same
crew.
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
hmm
honestly, man, like the first couple episodes, it took a bit for us to get into, just because
hmm
it's like wacky, it's slapstick, right? But man,
Yeah,
it's really really funny, and it's really
yeah.
good. They did it. They said as a tribute to the fire station.
Yeah,
Um,
it's satire.
yeah, absolutely. So here, Mike asks, do you start? So here's a good one. So do you start with Coronas because it's your favorite size, and then expand from there? Why not start with a Toro?
Yeah, Corona is one of my favorite sizes. The size next to that I really love is our Lanceros, in which I would never start a blend with a Lancero, you know, because everybody don't like Lanceros. I'm just kind of weird
I
like
don't
that.
get it.
I
I
like
don't
it.
get it.
Yeah, I love them. It teaches me how to slow down. If you're smoking too fast, you'll burn through it too fast. It teaches you how to slow down. And that's what I need in my life anyway. I need to slow down and don't rush through anything. But yeah, I start with Coronas. That's one of my favorite sizes. I like Toros. For some reason, I just don't start with them, and there's really no rhyme or reason behind it. I go with Coronas first, But I am adding more Toros in for those that like Toros. Like I said, the perfect example is the glitch in the Matrix is Lalibela started off with a Toro and a Gordo. There is no Corona for Lalibela right now. Now, will there be one coming? Oh yeah, I smoked it already, bro. Yeah. Oh, the Lancero's on the market right now. So for Lalibela,
and that blend is,
yeah, they never got it. Well, it came out when it originally came out. It was as a limited edition, but people loved it so much. There's no, I couldn't have it just as a come out once a year. So when it first came out, it didn't even have any bands on it. Now it's got Lalibela bands on there. There's boxes of it. There's bundles. Yeah, you can get it. I think all my online retailers have it at this point.
Okay, well, I will be
Illusione shipped them out.
Right after this, I will be going out and get that because I didn't know.
You went for a treat, man.
I bought all my stuff from you from the Cave. Cave never had your Lancero. So
yeah, it sold out so fast. A lot of people didn't get it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a whore for Lanceros. Like I'm a straight up for Lanceros, dude.
Yeah, you in for a treat with that Joker, man. That's great in that size.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will be going and getting. Is it sold in 5-packs or just boxes?
No? Yeah. Everywhere I saw was like small batch had it in 5-packs, and
perfect.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, you can get it in 5-pack.
Awesome. So Bruce, jump over to small batch, pick up a 5-pack of that. I'm gonna do the same right after the show. That's awesome. I can't believe I didn't know that. Because I bought your entire line from Smoking Cave. Everyone that they had, and they never had that. So let's see. Smoking the Lacaros Red, any connection there with the fire background?
So I've heard of the brand before. I think I've smoked one before. I think my only complaint about it was a little too mild for me. If I remember right, those cigars I rolled at Tapsa. Now the brother that I don't know if he owned it. He might have been a firefighter, I think, but he died last year. I think it is. Yeah, I don't know if it was two of them or just one guy. Whoever it was, one of them died, and it was fairly recent, like within the last year or whatever. I never met him before. So.
Well, Bruce is asking, will Southfield be getting the Lancero because he wants to go down and get them?
So Richard Braden handled that whole deal with Casa de Monte Cristo. So when the order came in, I never saw, all I know was the total for the order. I never saw particularly what they ordered. I think Brad did say that they did order Lanceros. So the order was put in 2 or 3 days ago. So I'm not sure if Illusione has shipped them out yet. So they're not at the location yet. They'll probably be there in the next week and a half or 2 weeks, just to be safe. So you're not just running up there trying to get it. And they're like, damn, it's not here yet. So wait like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then check, and they should have them.
Bruce is probably there every other day.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me if he just goes down there and picks up something else from yours, or if he sees something else and then goes back and picks up a couple boxes from you at your event.
Well, it's all going to be coming at the same time. Whatever they got, it's all coming at the same time.
Have to go twice? Yes, you'll have to go twice, Bruce. I know it's a tough life, but that's awesome. Well, so I got to ask you, man, what was one of the most intense fires that you've been in? And was there ever a situation where you were in and I've asked this to my law enforcement friends and military friends. Was there ever a situation you were in that really made you second guess your line of work? Most of my law enforcement friends have said yes. At least they're from Chicago because they've been in sticky situations. But
Yeah.
were you ever in a spot where you were like, "Oh man, that was close"?
I mean, I've had ceilings fall on my helmet before. It didn't hit my head, but it fell on my helmet. So I was glad the helmet was there because otherwise it was like that old school plaster. It wasn't drywall, so it's heavy. So if I didn't have a helmet on, it probably would have knocked me out. But yeah, the worst fire I've ever been to, bro, was on the north side. It was those big. I don't know if you remember the buildings on the north side, but the big U-shaped apartment buildings. Half the fucking U was burnt.
Oh
The
yes.
the stairwell from the third floor to the fourth floor was completely burnt out. We had to take a ladder in there and put it up, and so we can climb up and get on the fourth floor and see what was going on. Man, there was just so much smoke in there you couldn't even see your hand, and you could put your hand right in front of your face. You couldn't see it. Now it's like extremely dangerous where I would question if I wanted to be a firefighter or not. Nah, nothing. I never experienced anything that bad, but I've been to a lot of fires, bro. So once you've been to a few of them, they all kind of get to be the same. It's routine.
See, that's what we need with our firefighters. I asked him a way out for him to go. I was in a big fire. I did say, this guy's like, yeah, it was a huge fire. Whole staircase spread out. Nope, never second guessed my job. Loved every minute of it. Like that's what we need for firefighters. Like this is
I love my
that
job,
mentality. Correct? It's like
yeah,
the fear.
I love my
The fear
job.
wasn't there for you. To the extent of like when you're in that adrenaline rush. But were you ever in a situation where you got out of it where you're like, I can't believe I just did that? Holy shit! Did you see what I just did? Did you see that? The ceiling fell on me. Like that's got to be intense.
I mean, I've had times where we were trying to get into an apartment. It was like I don't know if I can explain it right, but we're in an apartment building, and
you're fine.
Say it's like a L shape, and I needed to climb out of one window and climb into another one because I was one of the thinner guys that could do it. Other guys are too big to get to the window, but it was like a 4 foot. I mean, like a 4 flight drop down. So if I didn't make it to the other window, I'd have went splat. So that was a little scary. But everybody made sure they held me until I was secure enough to get into the window, and then I got in there and opened up the door so the people can come in through the front door and get in there and that type of thing. So that was a little different, but like I said, bro, I mean, being on a roof in the middle of the winter is scary too, because you don't know if you're going, you're stepping on there and you step on a slick patch on there and you just slip and fall down and break your back, So it's different, man. You're a different type of person when you're running into the building, a burning building when everybody's running out, So. Yeah, you're definitely a different type of guy.
when the gut reaction is to go the other way, and you're going the way your body's like, no. So Cody asks, what's the weirdest call that you were ever on?
It's a whole bunch of those. But I'll tell you about one. It was this rather large woman kept calling us, and because she needed assistance getting up. So the first time we went, and here's the thing, she calls, and miraculously every time we show up, she's completely naked. So the first time we go get her, she's on the toilet. So we got to get her up off of there. And I mean, she was big too. So we get up off of there and she's butt naked. Then she's like, yeah, can you hand me my tampons over there? Like, what the fuck? And then she asked us to help her put her drawers on. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So, and like, hey, I'm not doing that. You're gonna have to work that out.
That's funny.
She called us.
Oh, hold on.
On the ground.
Don't cut out.
Oh.
No. Okay, hold on. Back up. You cut out. Wait a sec. Let it catch up. Oh, come
All right.
on. Internet, hold through. Hold through.
We're good?
Well, I think we're good. I can hear. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you said you
Okay, we
weren't
good?
putting her underwear on. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I refuse to do that. So you're going to have to work that out. So then it's a totally separate occasion. She calls us back because she needed help getting up. This time she wasn't on the toilet. She's just laying on the ground, butt ass naked. So I'm like, okay, now we're starting to see a trend here. You know, it's gonna be 5 guys coming up here and you butt ass naked, talking about help you get up off the floor. You know, so yeah, that was weird. It's a whole bunch of them, bro. A whole bunch of them.
That's. I tell you, you first responders have absolutely the craziest stories.
Mm-hmm.
All my uncles that were in law enforcement, like you give them a bottle and a box of cigars, you are just going to be pissing your pants by the end of the night. Like it is. So do you ever still show up at the old house and keep in touch with the guys and kind of go over there and hang out, bring cigars and whatnot?
I don't have a lot of time to go hang out at the firehouse. I do keep up with my guys though. We talk all the time. If they want to see me, they come by here. When I'm in town, if you want to see me, that's 10 times out of 10, you come see me here. You know, I don't really, I'm in lounges so much when I'm on the road that when I get here, I don't want to see the inside of another cigar lounge till I get back on the plane and go somewhere to work, you know. So this is my lounge here that I'm sitting in. So anybody, all my bottles are out here. I got cigars out here. It's music. My wife doesn't come out here. This is the guys' area. It's the man cave, you know. So we all sit out here, smoke, drink, you know, smoke to the wee hours in the morning. We won't, you know. So, but yeah, like when Rosales came to town, Mike Rosales, he hit me up, was like, man, where you at? And I was like, dude, come by the house. I'm not doing a lounge. I was like, I know you're tired of lounges because I was like, you're on the road. So I come on by the house. So he come by the house and smoke. Like I said, Richie Otero was just here yesterday. And he stayed for a while. We smoked and drank. Well, he didn't smoke, but he had some drinks and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, when people want to see me, they come by here. You know, this is the central spot to meet me. You know.
So do you have like a walk-in humidor in your house, in your man cave? I envision a 10 by 10 or 20 by 20 walk-in 30 to 60
That would be
thousand
nice.
cigars.
Yeah, that would be nice. But no, I got the what do you call this thing? The New Air out here. I think it holds like 200 or 300 or something like that. You
Nice.
know. Then I got so many cigars in the house, bro. I don't even know how many I have anymore. And I'm not even talking about just Black Star Line stuff. Because like I said, I'm a fan of everybody. And that's the way I keep my palate strong, is I keep smoking different stuff.
Correct.
You know, people ask me like, is all you smoke is Black Star Line? Fuck no. Like eating your favorite meal every day. It's not your favorite meal anymore.
Correct.
So
And it's
I
also
smoke everybody's stuff, good, bad.
Learning your competition,
Yeah.
quote unquote competition, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if something's hot on the market, a certain style or a new leaf, like you would be remiss to not smoke that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to know what it tastes like. I got to experience it. I'm reading about their cigar. And I try to envision when I'm smoking somebody else's cigar. I try to envision what were they going for with the cigar. You know what I'm saying? The last cigar that I smoked that really stuck out to me was Nick's cigar. It was originally called Matapa. It's called some Axum or something like that now. I think it is.
Media
Foundation. Yeah,
Foundation.
Nick Malillo.
Yeah, he just he changed the name of it from I forgot what it was called.
It was Matapa originally. Now it's Axum.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
He had said why he changed the name, but I didn't really read too much into it.
I never caught the reason why, because it was like really fast too. Because the cigar came out, and then it was like a few months after it came out, he changed the name. So I don't know. It was fast though for that rebranding. But I thought that was a phenomenal cigar. Like I thought he knocked that bitch straight out the park. I was like, dude, I sent him a message on IG when I was smoking. I was like, bro, you knocked this one out the park, man. Good job.
Yeah, that and the Olmec. I was the same thing with
Mm-hmm.
that. So Bruce asks, what's your favorite non-BSL? Would it be that one right now?
Yeah, that one sticks out lately. But like I said, I smoke everybody's stuff, bro. Like I like Tatuaje, I like My Father. You know, I smoke some Roma Craft stuff sometimes. Of course, Black Label Trading Company, James Brown, that's my brother. So I smoke his stuff a lot. I'm literally all over the place.
Do you like to try the new boutiques that nobody has? Do you seek out new, hard to
Yes.
find? So you're a
Yes.
collector in that sense, or you're a searcher?
Yes. Every city I go to, every lounge I'm in, I'm looking for something I've never had before. That's what I like to do. I love it. Um, I just came back from Memphis. I was at Smokers Abbey. I did an event with them at a barbecue event, and I saw the says Nina Fina Fine Ash, Sammy cigar from Fine Ash in Phoenix. So I saw it, so I bought it. Another reason why I bought it is from Tabacalera La Isla too, where Mr. Fahrenheit is rolled. So I bought it and I smoked it. It wasn't technically for me because it was too. There was nothing wrong with the construction, nothing wrong with the flavor. It was just too mild for me. I can't. With mild cigars, I'm bored. You're gonna bore me to death. If there's no Ligero in there, I'm bored to death, bro.
Yeah, the
So
coffee
it wasn't bad.
The
Yeah,
coffee.
it wasn't a bad cigar though. Yeah, it was just too mild for me. You know.
Yeah, I can only do mild if I have coffee. It's got to be in the, I'll smoke anything in the morning, night, afternoon. It doesn't matter. But if I'm smoking a mild, it's always only in the morning with coffee. And I have a tendency to see coffee's the strongest thing I'm partaking
Yeah, and
in.
see, I don't drink coffee, so I sell coffee, but I don't drink it. So I always look at myself like a trumpet player. You know, if a trumpet player's lips are chapped or their lip got cut, they feel like they can't play. So if I'm drinking something hot and it burns my tongue and I can't taste the tobacco, I'm useless. So I stick to spirits because they don't get hot out the bottle. So
and they're only hot for a short time in the mouth.
Right.
Yeah, I was a trumpet player for 9 years. I know exactly what you're talking about. I loved it. Were you an instrument player? Did you play musical instruments?
Yeah, everything in the percussion section. I used to be able to play it all: timpani, snare drum, all of it. I used to be able to read music and everything. And when I stopped, because when I went to high school, I was under the impression that being in the band was like you a nerd. So I just went straight sports, football and track. So and I regret that because now I don't remember how to read the music. I'm sure somebody could teach me, but I haven't had time to sit down and look at it.
I will tell you, as somebody that was in band and football and wrestling and weightlifting in high school, the band was the freakiest aspect of high school in mine. Listen, we would be on a bus. Half the bus would be naked while we were getting changed, getting ready for an event. And you're like, it doesn't even matter. The running joke was, if you really wanted to see nudity in high school, go to the changing room of the bands because it didn't matter. We all just got dressed. It didn't matter. So I will tell you, the band is a bunch of freaks. It truly, truly is. But I ended up getting bored with it myself my senior year. Because you saw everybody naked at that point. There was nobody new. So would you ever consider, if the opportunity came back, to go into firefighting again in like a consultative approach? Or are you kind of like, I'm done with that journey. I'm fully committed to this journey?
Yeah, my firefighter path has been closed off, bro. I don't have anything to do with the fire department right now, outside of me donating to Ignite the Spirit. That's a firefighter charity here in Chicago. a portion of the proceeds from Mr. Fahrenheit goes to them. And it helps out fallen firefighters' families, and if they need some financial assistance and stuff like that. Beyond that, bro, I'm not. No, because as far as I know, with CFD, bro, there is no consultative position. It's either you're working at the airport doing nothing, or you're at the bureau, which they go around to like schools and check fire alarms and stuff like that, or you're at a house that works. If I went back to being a firefighter, I have to be on an active truck. I'm a truck guy. So when I say active truck, active means that it's a house that goes to fires on a regular basis. That was always my wheelhouse. That's always what I wanted to do. I didn't want to be like at the airport. You don't do anything. They say that it's like you're stealing money there because there's how many times is a plane crash? It doesn't. I mean, it could happen, but the technology and everything that we got going on now, it doesn't happen very often. No. But oh, that was another crazy story. That just popped in my head. I was working at the airport. We got a medical call on the plane. Go in there, and there's people on the plane, but it's shit. Like from the front bathroom, the bathroom that's all the way in the front, and it's like a trail of shit in the aisle, like all the way back to maybe about the middle of the plane or so. So some dude got sick, and he was trying to make it to the bathroom, and he didn't. He just shit it all through the aisle.
That's a lot of shit, dude. That's a lot of shit.
Yeah, it was nasty. It was like nasty, bro. And then it was a young lady coming in. They in between flights. Some people used to come in and try to wipe down and clean up. So she's coming in with a bottle and a rag, and I'm looking at her, and I told her, I was like, yeah, you're not gonna do nothing with that in there. I was like, this is a hazmat incident now. I'm like, yeah, no, you might as well take that bottle and that rag back out of here because I don't know what you think you're gonna do with that. So yeah, that was crazy as hell too. So like I said, I got a whole bunch of them. Like you said, we got cigars and drinks. Shit, I'll have you entertained all night long.
Oh, I know, man. I know. I like I said, I like my military friends. Just stuff with it going on the bases. I don't have many I have a few firefighter friends, but I don't keep up with it too much. Actually, one of my buddies just became lieutenant at a firehouse. I think it was one of the south suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
Oh, I can't remember. I hadn't talked to him in 20 years. It was just something I saw on Facebook. Mm-hmm. But I tell you though, you guys always have the best stories. Like how there's not more. There just needs to be like just crazy firefighter movie with just like you ever seen the oh my God, what's that Navy SEAL movie where it's a collaboration of different events? Valor. Something Valor. It's a collaborate. There needs to be like a firefighter story of just collaboration of just crazy events, because you guys run into the most crazy people at times, and then if you're going on a paramedic run, you don't even know what you're going into at that point, And so let me ask you this: I've always been told this, but I don't know that I've ever been told the real reason. Is the real reason every single car crash requires a fire truck is because of the ability for it to blow up? Is that really like, even like I got a small little fender bender and a fire truck showed up. It was like I barely dented it. And they had a fire truck show up in Evergreen Park when I was 16.
Yeah, and they're showing up to see if you hurt or not. Yeah.
But there was a separate paramedic.
Yeah, it depends on the department. Some in Chicago, some of the paramedics are on the trucks if it's an ALS rig, advanced life support. Every rig I worked on was BLS, which is basic life support, which means everybody on there is an EMT. There's no medic on there. So it just depends on where you are. You know what I'm saying? Now, with a car accident, we do show up because we may have to extricate somebody out the car. You may be hurt, so we come and check. And if you say you're okay and you're walking around and you're talking just fine, we leave and we let the police just handle it. But as far as the cars blowing up and all that, that's sensationalized TV stuff. So
No,
it'll
that's
catch on
wrong.
fire, but it's not just like boom,
No,
like Fast and the Furious or something.
that's wrong. Hollywood's never wrong, dude. There's no special effects. Everything's correct.
Hmm.
So as you're going through this journey, you started Blackline 2 years after, right? Because no, you've been out of a fire department 4 years, and you have
Yeah.
5 years for Blackline. So you started
Hmm.
Blackline. Was the goal with starting Blackline when you were a firefighter was eventually that was going to be what you wanted to do, or were you going to try to do both?
Until I retired, I was doing both. I was going to do both of them.
So that was the plan, was to do
Yeah.
both.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had no intentions of leaving that job until my 20 years was up. But like I said, it got cut short. So
Well, let
you
me
got to
ask
roll with the
you:
punches.
are you having just as much fun? I don't want to say more fun, right? Because that's relative. Are you
Hmm.
having just as much fun with
Hmm.
this? Because I know the
Hmm.
answer. Yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Could you see
I mean, it's
yourself
dope.
doing anything different than cigars if not for firefighter?
Hitting the lottery and disappearing. Yeah, as far as
Go up
working
to the
somewhere
north
else,
side,
no.
Highlands Ranch area. I think Jordan's house
Yeah,
is still up for sale.
yeah. Hmm.
So
Yeah, that shit's been on sale for a while. I don't know why nobody wants it, but
because it's too customized.
but
I
yeah,
actually I
maybe another business or something. I wouldn't work for anybody else. Yeah.
at this point in time
Mm.
you're accustomed to your freedom of being
But
able to make your own
yeah,
decisions.
I can't think of anything else I want to do.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yep. Yep.
Um
Yep. And the
yeah,
thing I
no,
love
you're
about
accustomed
being
at
with
this
the
point.
running, yeah, the thing I love about running Black Star Line is, I'm always in a different city. And then not only am I promoting the brand, but I also get to meet people that appreciate the work that I've done. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot to me. When you actually run into a cat and they're like, dude, I had Dark Warwick, man. I loved it. Like, I appreciate it. I appreciate you making it. So I like that, and I meet a lot of cool people. When I'm on the road, and so I have friends everywhere now. And some people are weird. Like sometimes in my DM, I'll have a dude send me like a recording of him reciting poetry to me, and I'm like, bro, no Diddy. Like we can't do that, bro. Don't send me recorded poetry. Like just weird shit in my DM. So but
Well,
yeah, for the most part, everybody's cool though.
I tell you, one of the things that surprised is when I see you on this show, you show up, you're in a hoodie, but then when
Mhm.
you ever look at your Facebook page, you're like one of the best dressed guys in the room
Oh
at your event.
yeah.
At the
Oh
hat,
yeah. If I
I
come
wish
out,
I could.
yeah.
I wish I could pull off a fedora. I could barely
Hmm.
find a hat to cover this chrome dome that I have
Hmm.
to begin with. But you're always so you have fully imbibed that cigar lifestyle, not
Yeah.
only in your look and how you
Hmm.
present yourself and carry yourself, but
Yeah.
you had mentioned that you like to kind of go in and just be a regular guy. So
Yeah.
you're obviously you're recognized at this point to an extent amongst certain groups and areas in the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
And so what is that like now going into a lounge today versus 4 years ago?
Mm.
Do
Well,
you care? Do you have a little bit more swagger, a little bit more confidence, or do you kind of take that same approach that you did in the beginning?
I'm typically the same as the beginning. Um, and the reason why I dress down when I'm not at events is, historically I'm an athlete, so I like to wear comfortable stuff. 9 times out of 10, if you catch me here at the house, I'm wearing sweats or hoodie or something very relaxed and laid back. When I go to lounges, there's a lot of people still don't know who I am. Especially, here's the funny thing: if I don't have my hat on, some people just have no idea who I am, and I love it. I walk in, and I just act like a regular customer. I'll be wearing something with Black Star Line on and they don't recognize it. And I just act like a regular customer. Because a lot of times when I'm going to lounges, I like to see how you're going to treat me as a customer before you find out that I'm an owner. Because I found out that some people will treat the owners with higher regard. So I want to see how you're going to treat me when you think I'm just a regular customer. Because I go in cigar lines and like I said, I'm very traditional with supporting brick and mortar. So if I'm going to try to get my cigars in the lounge, I don't talk about Black Star Line at all until I've supported the house. I go buy some cigars out of your humidor. After I've made my purchase, all right, hey man, I wanted to let you know I'm Aric, the owner of Black Star Line Cigars. Here's my card. You know, if you got time to smoke with me, I got some samples with me. Let's have a seat and talk. You know, and then we just work it like that.
So you take the approach of, I am going to earn the ability to ask for your time by purchasing from your shop. I'm not going to come in, expect free time, but I'm going to buy your time by buying a handful or so of your cigars.
I'm always a customer first, bro. Always.
Now,
I will support your lounge.
Why is that important to take that approach from you?
Because that's what keeps the brick and mortar strong, by supporting them. So if you're showing them that you're supporting them as a customer, that's also leading into you're going to support them as a retail partner. Because that increases the relationship. When you got a product that you're both pushing, that lets them know, like, hey, he bought some random cigars in my lounge. So he's going to take that same attitude with helping me to push his product in my lounge, in which I will. I reshare posts. I do the events. If something's going on, you need my help, however it needs to happen. If it needs to be on Zoom or if I can't make it, if it has to be virtually, you know, I'll talk to the customers, whatever needs to happen, I'm willing to do it. Because getting in the lounge is one thing, but you don't want it to be where you're only getting one order from that lounge and then that's it. That's not a placement. When you start getting repeat orders, that's when you have a placement in that lounge. And that's when you know the cigars are doing well. So I don't like one and dones at all. Like that's not good at all to me. You know, so I work hard to make sure that if I put them cigars there and it's a good account, I'm working to make sure they stay there.
No, yeah, and that's really, this is where, like, you made a point, and I don't know if you, and actually Bruce asked a question to this point too.
Okay.
I don't know if you realize the point you just made, but effectively what you just said is, I buy cigars to see how they're going to treat their customers before,
like a secret shopper,
before my customers buy cigars from them. And Bruce actually just literally asked the question. Bruce is always ahead of me. This is one of the biggest fans of this show. I love this man. I gave him a big old wet kiss when I saw him for the first time at TGS. Like, I love this man.
All right.
Like, if I am not on a Thursday night, he texts me and says, "Are you okay?" I love him. So he knows the questions that I'm going to ask. So I will give him credit for this. But to what you were just talking about, have you ever not put your cigars in a lounge based on how they treated you? Meaning, you bought your cigars, they treated you like shit, didn't pay attention, didn't show you the respect that you would want your clients to feel in a lounge, and you just said nothing and left.
Yeah, I've done that before. Not only the treatment, but the way the lounge looks. Like, I'll tell you off air, it's one in the Denver area, and I walked in there and I was like, whoa, like it was like holes in the floor in the humidor. A lot of the boxes are like 70% of the boxes were closed. They were price gouging. Like Andalusian Bull, they had an Andalusian Bull in there. They were selling for $45. Crown Heads Las Calaveras. It was like the latest release, the latest Las Calaveras they had in there, and they were selling that for $25. And I was like, bro, you price gouging. I don't support that. You don't just run the price up just for the hell of it, bro. Don't do that. I can see if it's the taxes, like in California and New York, the taxes are real high. Colorado, the taxes high. But if you're going above and beyond all the taxes and it's clearly rape, yeah, bro, I don't want my cigars in here. So like 8 Lounge in Vegas. You go in there, bro, and a fucking $20 cigar will be like $70. Why? You just price gouging.
No, most people
So
would say it's the Vegas tax, but I totally agree with you. And you know what? Shame on actually the local government for making businesses feel they have to sell a cigar at that price just to make fucking rent. Because
yeah,
that might be part of it. But I can tell you right now, I would love to know the lounge. Well, 100%. I don't shame lounges on the show. I want to know, so we'll talk after the show here real quick. But
it's got a different owner now, so I heard it's a little different in there.
okay, I think I might know who you're talking about, but we'll talk later. I
It's a
definitely don't
Nigerian guy
like.
used to own it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't like
yeah,
the. We won't mention the name, but
right.
yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
I
about.
don't
Mhm.
don't I don't think you're wrong in that because don't. Here's the thing with tobacco. It's kind of like with a car, right? You guys are
Mhm.
fucked from the standpoint of it's so hard to sell direct to consumer. And
Right.
if you sell direct to consumer, you're pissing off your other clientele. And let's be honest, you guys have two clientele stacks. You have a
Yeah.
business owner stack and you have a customer stack.
Yeah.
And so it's hard, but at the same time, if the business owner stack is not representing themselves correct,
Yeah.
that does have the ability to rub off on you by going, whoa, this brand put their cigar in this shop. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
because nobody's going to hold the legacies to that. Say, right? There's a double standard.
Right. Right.
Nobody's
Right.
going
Right.
to hold Altadis or General to that
Mm-hmm.
standard, but they're going to hold the small guy. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
very important that you do screen to an extent your shops because there's also shops that just might not be a good fit for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I do not. I can care less about being in everybody's shop. Everybody's shop is not for Black Star Line. It's not. They're like certain shops just do like if they exclusively push legacy brands and they're not in the business of like educating their customers on new cigars and stuff like that. It's not a shop for Black Star Line. Because a lot of people may not have heard of Black Star Line. They've heard of Aganorsa, but or Oveja Negra or Espinosa, La Zona. They've heard of those factories and those companies, but they're not looking at it. If they've never heard of Black Star Line, they're not going to investigate it enough to find out. Like, dude, yeah, these cigars are from some great factories. You know, so if you don't have a advocate in the lounge to actually like teach them about it, then the cigars will sit there.
Correct.
Everybody go in and they'll say, "Oh, I know Cohiba. Bang, I get that. I know my father. Yeah, they'll go with what they know, and that's it."
No, correct. And to be honest, at the same time, it's great to have those manufacturers known that make your stuff, but you don't want to be wrapped up into their world. You want to be
Right,
wrapped up in your own world.
right,
That you just use this manufacturer.
right.
Maybe that's like I said earlier in the show. If somebody's never smoked yours, but they're big Espinosa fans, maybe that gives them the ability to smoke your stuff at a whim and
Mm-hmm.
fall in love with
Mm-hmm.
it. But at the same time,
Yeah.
you're 100% right. 90% of the cigar community are not geeks. The
Right.
vast majority of cigar smokers smoke 5 a year,
Right.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very important to control the image that you're sold under.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in
And
the
other lounges
beginning,
I avoid
yeah,
lounges that are like party spots, where it's like the music's real loud, the ventilation's bad. Yeah, I avoid those spots too. You know,
really.
it's,
Now
it's
I'm
not. Yeah,
curious
it's not my type
why.
of vibe. It's too late. Like I don't like going in environments and I got to yell at you to talk to you. And it's not my type of thing because if I put my cigars there, eventually I'm going to want to come and do an event there. And if I'm doing the event there, I don't want to lose my voice trying to talk to customers, and explain to them about the company, where I came from. Because when you at cutting lights, the people are coming to get to know the person behind the brand. And that helps to sell the stuff when I'm not there. Because 9 times out of 10, if they like the owner, they're going to buy the cigars.
Correct.
When you're not
Correct.
there.
Correct.
And that's my purpose of going. I want people to know me and know my story, know the struggles we've been through, and
Correct.
that this company was founded off of firefighter money, money that I risked my life to get. I used that to start this company. So it's important to me that I can be able to hear you in a
Absolutely.
normal environment, and I'm not losing my voice to try to convey my message to you.
Absolutely. And that's what I try to do on this show. Like, that's where I feel, and this is not tooting my own horn, but literally what you just said is why I focus the show and generate the show around the way I do. You've
Okay.
noticed, like, we bring in cigars, we bring in stuff, but I'm also bringing in your life. I'm bringing in your
Mm-hmm.
story. I'm bringing in your
Mm-hmm.
background because it's there that people will have the connection to go,
Yeah.
I love that you're a firefighter. Maybe I didn't know that about you. Now I do. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go buy your stuff. You take a
Yeah.
company like Binny's. You
Mm-hmm.
broke records in Binny's. You were the
Oh yeah,
first
I'm crushing
black
there, bro.
owned cigar company ever in Binny's. And the thing I love about like I told you, my brother-in-law buys one or two of your cigars every time he goes in. That's where he buys his
I
cigars.
appreciate that.
It's like a mile from his house. But what I loved about
Mm-hmm.
Binny's is when I walked in there, I played stupid because my brother-in-law is always like, when we walk into a lodge, oh, he's got a show, and I'm like, like let's just go in here raw. And to my
Mm-hmm.
shock, they never showed me a single legacy line. They
Yeah.
brought me to
Mm-hmm.
yours. They brought me to a
Mm-hmm.
few other boutiques, and they said, these are the ones that we're actually loving on right now. The choice
Yeah.
is yours, but this is where we're loving.
Right.
And
Right.
that is actually a store that supports the small guy, because right, the big guys don't need the help. Like we talked about, some of the big guys are pumping out a new line every month. And
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, to Richard's point here, and I've said this time and time again on the show,
Mm-hmm.
I put boutique
Mm-hmm.
and legacies in the column of college and pro. There's a lot
Okay.
of people that love to watch college because there's more heart. They're not getting paid.
Yeah.
They're doing it because they want to. The pros,
Yeah.
they get prima donnas, right? Without
Mm-hmm.
throwing
Mm-hmm.
LeBron under the table, I'll throw LeBron under the table because we all know Jordan's the best. And there's no discussion on the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show that Michael Jordan is the best. I'm sorry, six, two, three peats, back
Mm-hmm.
to back, suck it. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get that love and that pride and that that internal respect for one's abilities and product. I feel the boutique
Yeah.
world has more to prove, and I
Yeah.
often feel that they try harder. You guys try harder
Yeah.
because you need to,
Goodness.
and you put out a better
That's
product.
that's universal across any industry that's palate driven. Normally, the smaller companies, you say beer, for example, if you like beer, the craft beers are better than say like Bud Light and MGD or Coronas. Those are mainstream boring beers. As much they put the craft beers put a lot more into it. They're smaller batches. They pay a lot more attention to the process. It's the same thing. If it's palate driven and it's boutique, that's just the same across all those different industries.
So then, how do you keep yourself? How are you going to promise right now at your 5 year to
Hmm.
any of your clientele that's moving forward with you and that's been dedicated to you over these 5 years, that you're not going to turn into that big brand 15 years from now and just pump out something to pump it out? How do you keep your customers realizing that? Does that make sense?
Yeah. The
How do you
only
stay
way
true
you're
to
not gonna
yourself?
like yeah, so everything is based off of my palate. That's why I keep smoking a bunch of different stuff to keep my palate strong. It's all an exercise for your palate. So I need to know what's bad and you know what's good. And then I can put my blends together and I can taste it and I'll be like, yo, this is a winner. And then it's not just me, it's my team that smokes it. And then I may have some other people that come by and I'm like, hey man, just smoke this. Tell me what you think of it. You know. So that's the way I do some of my processes on developing the blends. But I'm never gonna just pump out cigars just for the hell of it. Just to have something new on the market. For one, I don't have the capital for that anyway. And I wouldn't want to waste money like that anyway. Everything I want to put out is quality. Now, if there's something in my line that you don't like, it won't be because of the construction, it won't be because of the flavor. It'll be because your strength preference. So if you're a full body, full strength every day, all day long, then you might not like El Milagro Sungrown because El Milagro Sungrown is a medium body. It's nowhere near full. It's full flavor, but it's not full strength. So it might miss the mark for you if you're looking to get punched in your face. That cigar ain't gonna do it. It's still a good cigar though.
So where do you see? I personally, I see Black Line as a length brand. I see Black Line
Yeah.
growing to a point to where it will outlive you because
Yeah.
of the groundwork that you have laid. And
Yeah. We
let's
laid the
also
tracks. Yeah.
let's be honest, the factories that you are working with are really fucking second to none. I mean, okay, like I'm not blowing smoke up Terrence's ass. I love the man, but
Oh yeah.
there's
That
not a
khaki
lot of
wearing motherfucker.
I fucking love him. And do you ever want to know how to bring your voice back? Just ask him because he fucking loses at every single event. But
Yeah.
I will say, like, you where I feel you made the best decisions early on was with the manufacturers you chose. And let me dig a little deeper into that. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
start a brand by going, I'm going to pick somebody to make my cigar. You picked
Right.
the manufacturer and said, I'm going to make the brand around the quality that you guys can make.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you built the best physical brand you could with the best that
Yeah.
you have, and it shows. You're fucking growing like
Yeah.
crazy. You're blowing up. Again, I go back. How many brands have reached out to JoJo and they've said no?
Right.
How many
Yeah.
boutique brands at your age
Mm-hmm.
have ever worked
Mm-hmm.
with JoJo? That's all that needs to be
Yeah.
said. That's really
Yeah.
it. You know,
Well, it all starts with El Titan de Bronze, bro. If it wasn't for
yeah.
El Titan de Bronze,
Again,
that's my first factory. That's my family. So that's where Black Star Line was born at, right in Miami on Calle Ocho. And Sandy and Willie Herrera and
yeah,
Giselle,
it's Willie's
they
mom,
make sure, yeah, his mother-in-law. So
mother.
yeah, it's that was the launch pad for us. They don't work with just anybody. And she liked me. And she, when I sent her the flowers and wished the family well. And then when I followed up on it a couple of months later, and she was like, "You sent me those flowers. You know how to treat a woman. I'm gonna do these blends for you." And they did them. And then that just led to Aganorsa, Oveja Negra. Like, at this point, I could probably work with damn near any factory I want.
No,
You know.
100%. Now let me ask you a question. How much of that start was right place, right time?
Everything was like lightning in a bottle, bro. To be
Isn't
honest
that
with you.
crazy when you think about it?
Yeah. All of it. Even when Warwick came out, there was lightning in the bottle. I had no idea that cigar was gonna come out like that, and it did. And it was a Connecticut shade. I don't even really smoke Connecticut's like that, but it just came. I put the blend together. I sent it to Terrence. They rolled that fucker, and it was phenomenal, bro. And it became the flagship of the company. And then we just went from there, and I just kept adding weapons into the artillery and shit, man. And we're at where we are now. Yeah.
So if somebody was to ever ask you, how did this start? Would part of that story be it just happened to fall together? Because so much of
Persistence
the
and
most
dedication too.
correct, but so much of the most successful stories fell together. You got an L Titan de
Yeah.
Bron. Nobody
Hmm.
really ever gets in there. Like that's not somebody who just fucking walked in. That's my point. Like it was so much a right time, right place.
Hmm.
And obviously you pushing for that to make happen. But
Yeah.
do you think without the line of events with starting with El Titan and going to Aganorsa, now Lazona, that you would be where you are? And I'm not discounting what you have done. I'm saying that
Mm.
your effort to get into the factories to make the
Yeah.
quality was intense.
Yeah. 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 If it hadn't been for LT and DeBronze, I don't know where I would be at in my cigar journey right now. Now, the funny thing about it was I was originally supposed to come out of La Zona. I had a guy that was supposed to connect me with Aric and give me samples and all that stuff, and that never happened. But it's funny how the world works in full circle because I'm working with him now. So
Yeah,
I got him anyway.
it's
You
crazy.
know, when I first talked to James Brown, he told me no. He told me no. And I was like, okay. I saved the email that he when he turned me down. I saved that was my
I love
motivation.
it. I love it.
And
I
then
love it.
I did my work. I did my work. I'm being in this industry. And I caught his attention. And then he started following us and he looked at our Instagram page and he was like, bro, for a new company, man, you branded the Instagram page out phenomenally. And he said this is his words exactly. He was like, based on how you working, you can use my factory anytime you want to.
God, I love
So
it.
yeah,
I
man, like
love
it's
those
just
stories.
the stars are in alignment for us, bro. Like we're here and we letting everybody know we here. You know.
I love those stories. I'm not a super religious man, but it's so
Mm,
awesome to hear your story in the sense that you were into firefighting. You started the cigars a year before you retired. You had an
mm,
accident, and then bam. Now, in the reality of it is, everything in your life brought you to this point. And I got to
yeah,
say, man, you've done everything you can to take advantage of this point in your life and make
yeah.
it the best that you can. And
Hmm.
what I'm
Hmm.
curious is how much does your wife play a role inside the company? Is she a cigar smoker? I assume not, because she
Not
doesn't
really.
go to the
Yeah,
lounge.
not really. Yeah, not really. If she comes to an event, she'll smoke something mild or an infused cigar. When I used to make infused cigars, I don't make them anymore. But she'll smoke that. But maybe one or two cigars a year, bro. She's nowhere near considered a smoker. When I was hurt and we were selling direct to consumer, it was during COVID, and everybody's sales were up during COVID because everybody was at home drinking and smoking. So she was the one packaging everything up, shipping, taking them up to the UPS store, shipping them out. But now she doesn't really have much to do with the company at all. She'll repost some stuff and stuff like that, but she has other stuff that she has to bother with. So, man, and then quite frankly, I don't need her to do it. I have other people to do the stuff. So, it's not as challenging as it was when I didn't have numbers to help me. People, bodies to help me. You know,
So let
so
me ask you this: is so much of the cigar world is run in a family run business, right? Altadis in
yeah,
general are probably the major cigar companies that I could think of that are not run in a family way.
right, right, right.
How much of your wife's does your wife involve herself inside of Starline at all, Black Starline at all?
Not really, not really. Like I
So
said, when I
she
was hurt,
leaves this
yeah.
to you, but she does leave this to you. She's not like
Hmm.
she doesn't help outside of what you ask.
Yeah, there may be some marketing stuff every once in a while, but it's very minimal. Like I said, I got people in place where I don't really need her to do some of the stuff. You know, but with the time she did help me, it was very valuable.
So is she a consultant in the business? Meaning, do you talk with her? Do you ask advice with her about stuff? Or do you leave
Mm,
work? Do you leave work separate from family?
if I ask her about stuff, I'll ask her how does something look. Like if
Okay,
it's some kind of marketing material that we made, I'll ask her because women will look at things different than us. So I want to see what she thinks. If she thinks it's something good that I should put on Instagram or ad I'm putting in a magazine or something, I'll have her look at it and see what she thinks. But yeah, like I said, her involvement is at this point is very minimal. I can't talk to her about tobacco. She doesn't know tobacco. And that's primarily what I deal with is running the company, and I do the blends. I started separating myself from like the sales and stuff like that. That's Cliff's area. Cliff's the VP of sales, so he deals with the reps for the most part. The one I deal with the most is Albert because I ride with Albert a lot when he's on the road. So I ride with him and we go and see accounts and try to open up accounts while we're out. But Cliff and Brad deal more with the sales now than I do. I will step in and become a sales rep if I need to, but for the most part, I let them handle it. So I'm starting to step away from certain aspects of the business because
that's good.
I want to focus on what I'm absolutely good at, and that's doing them blends
That's
and
good.
doing stuff like interviews like this. Because I'm the face of the company too, so I do all the talking about the company, and I'm the one that knows the story the best. I'm the one that can tell you why I started it, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, I could tell you. I could tell you, it's a pretty face. Guy to guy,
Mhm.
it's a pretty face. But that's awesome. Like him or hate him, I'm not getting into a political discussion. Like him or hate him,
Mm.
one of the things that I saw and read in an interview with Trump, they asked him his
Hmm.
success, and he said, "I hired people that made up my shortfalls."
Yeah,
That
that's
as a
that's a
business
fair
owner,
assessment.
that as a
Yeah,
business owner is the number one goal as a
yeah,
business owner is to hire to where your shortfalls are.
yeah. You
And
got to
and
know how
not
to
shortfalls.
delegate stuff out. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
not
Because if
not
you try
not
to do
necessarily.
everything
Yeah,
yourself, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. So, and I was at that point, I was driving myself crazy, and I was like, all right, let me start giving some of these responsibilities to other people that I trust, that I know will handle the business just like I would. So I tell people all the time, if you're talking to Cliff or Brad, that's Richard Braden. That's his nickname. So his last name is Bratton. So we call him Brad for short. So if I tell you talk to Cliff or Brad, it's the same as talking to me. I trust them that much. If they need to make a decision and I'm not around, I trust the decision because I trust them. So I keep people around that I trust and I know won't say the wrong thing or tank the business or lose an account because they said some dumb shit.
now, as a growing business, that's hard, right? Like
Yeah.
like giving that up is a tough thing to do. I'm actually working with a client right now that their young son took it over, and I'm
Okay.
and I'm going back and forth with them about a dollar value on a project. And I looked at him and I said, "Listen, in 25 years, when you give this business to your son, you're not going to remember this, but you're going to
Right.
remember the fact that you didn't do it because of all the problems it caused."
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, as a business owner, how hard was that for you to come to the realization of you have to give up to succeed, right? It feels weird.
Yeah, it's anxiety, bro.
Totally, totally.
Because, like I said, with the Casa de Monte Cristo order, I never saw the order. I just saw the total. So I have to trust that Brad put the order in correctly in the app because it's an app that Lugione uses and we input our orders in there. So I have to trust that he took the order right. He inputted it right. He got everything that they wanted to order. Because I know if I do it, I'm looking at it, so I'm confident that it's in there. But I have to put that trust into other people, and I have to let the anxiety go. Because the anxiety will keep me up at night. You know. if I don't have an edible, and that'll knock the anxiety out.
Edible will knock anything out, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so at what point in time in the creation of Black Star Line did you realize you had to let things go? And how long before you stopped being a helicopter boss and like,
Yeah.
or was it from the beginning where it was like you're gonna go do, because
No.
that's like a no, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So
I didn't have the team. I had a team, but I didn't trust them as much as the team now. So I still
okay,
had to step in and do a lot of stuff that that I don't do now. But like I said, when I say wholeheartedly, if you talk to Cliff or Brad, you talking to me. You know what I'm saying? I trust them that much. They're my brothers. I love them. We're not only work together, but we family too. So I trust them wholeheartedly. You know,
Richard.
we're the core. We're the core of Black Star Line, and they ain't going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. And I bounce all the ideas off them all the time. We argue, we cuss each other out, and then after we get done with
Love
all
it.
that,
I love it.
hey man, pour a drink, man. Let's have a drink and have some fun. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
love it. I love it because
yeah.
what you're saying is that you're able to be friends and
Mhm.
business partners and understand that two do not have to mix.
Right.
And
Right.
that
Right.
when business is over, it's drinking time. Crack the bottle, light a
Oh
cigar,
yeah.
and we're gonna have a few edibles.
Oh
That's a good time.
yeah.
That's a good time right there.
Right.
That's a good time.
Right.
So
Hmm.
let me ask you here in closing,
What's up?
what is your work life balance and how do you maintain the family with how much you travel? Because that's a lot. That takes a toll.
Yeah. Yeah. To be honest with you, man, I'm always working. Like it'd be like around this time. It's 9 o'clock here in Chicago. I might still be returning an email or reviewing something. Something I can sit in front of the TV and I can do it, and it's not taking any. It's not taking away from anything. The tough part is the traveling, because I average like anywhere between 90 to 100 events a year. So
Damn,
I'm
that's
normally
like
in at least,
75% a year you're traveling.
yeah, I'm almost in 2 cities, if not 3, every month.
Wow.
So that's the part that gets tough. 'Cause my daughter is 9; she'll be 10 on May 31st. So, but what makes it okay is my family does understand that this is a relationship business, and a lot of times the owner does have to show up and do events for the cigars to move. Sometimes they'll move without me, but sometimes they do it. They need me to get there and push it. You
Sure.
know, so it's tough, bro. It's tough. If you're in a business where it's travel intensive, it does take a toll on your family. But we work around that, and it's been fine. I just try to make sure like I'm not gone like 3/4 of the month. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Sure.
lot. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? So I try to make sure I'm here at some form or fashion.
with Mother's Day coming up Sunday,
Hmm.
let's throw a prop out to your wife. How invaluable has your wife been for you to even run this company?
Yeah, she's dealt with all my bullshit. So all this time. So the fact that she's willing to let me go on these trips, 'cause, it's a lot of stuff that can come up behind that, like
Totally.
jealousy can come up, because I'm on the
Sure.
road all the time.
You're
So
partying
she,
in her
yeah,
mind.
you don't know what I'm doing, yeah. So it can foster distrust, jealousy, that type of things. So I try to make sure I stay away from stuff like that. I try to keep my nose clean. You're not gonna hear any rumors about me and no scandals. I wasn't in Nicaragua, and it's a half black and half Nicaraguan baby running around there looking like me. So
$3.5 million rings on a Kobe finger. You know,
right, right.
Richard, you're right. You make a good point.
Yeah.
And the point behind what I want to show right now is the fact that his wife's not part of the company, but his wife understands the passion and the
Mhm.
business and the fact of what he's trying to do and provide. And so because of that, if I and correct me if I'm wrong here, Aric, she does an
Mhm.
excellent job of maintaining the house when you're
Yeah.
away, making sure
Yeah.
that the house is run, your daughter's taken care of, and there's never even a thought in your mind that there's an issue at home.
Yeah. Um, and the
And
other
that's
thing is
valuable.
she's seeing the results of what I'm doing. You know,
Yeah. She's got a
it's
three and a
like
half million dollar ring on her
she's like, oh damn, you went there for 2 days and got 10 grand. Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, when's your next trip? You
Absolutely,
know,
absolutely, right? And and
mhm.
and and what makes the family accept the time gone is the hard work and the efforts that are reaped from that, right?
Yeah.
Because it would be a lot harder if you were going at a negative to every event than a positive.
Oh yeah, yeah, that wouldn't make any sense, right? So, but yeah, it's she sees the fruits of my labor. And
Mhm.
it's not only her, but a lot of people see the fruits of my labor because everybody knows I'm working hard. A lot of times when people call me, the first thing they'll
We
ask
all
me is like,
taste
"Hey,
it.
are you in town?" Because everybody knows I'm on the road. I'm working, I'm humping, I'm grinding, I'm trying to get this business going. So um, and it's tough, but I also like doing it because it also inspires other people. To go
Yes.
after your dreams. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because I started with $1 in a dream,
Yes.
bro. That's what it was.
Yes.
It was $1 in a dream, and now I got 8 cigars. Like a lot of people can't say that.
Dollar in a
So it's
dream and you were
mm,
injured for a
yeah,
portion of this.
hmm
Like you had
hmm
surgery. Like and that's
yep,
what I love. That's what I really try to focus on with my show is to show that somebody our age, you're not much older than me. I don't even know if you are older than me, but I'm 39.
47.
So you're not
Oh
much
yeah, I'm
older
older
than
than
me. Not a
you.
whole
Yeah,
lot. But the fact that at 44, you took a leap and you followed your passion and you never stopped until you succeeded.
yeah,
And that is what I love showing and
right,
talking about on this show. Because anybody
yeah,
watching, a lot of the cigar community is older, a lot of the cigar guys sitting there smoking, going, I feel like I could do what they do. And you know what? More power to them. And that's what I try to show on this is if you
yeah,
have enough dedication and fortitude, you can do what you want and you can write your
yeah,
own history. And that's what you're doing.
yeah,
You took a
yeah.
cigar brand as a firefighter, you got injured, you never let any of it
hmm
stop you. You persevered, and
Right.
now look at you. You're
hmm
about to buy Michael Jordan's house in Highlands Ranch. And no, but in all seriousness, like you are a brand where boutiques at this point in time can look up to and go, if Aric did it, I got to show enough wherewithal and drive to do the same thing. It can be
Yeah,
done. It's hard.
yeah,
It's hard.
right.
Like I'm
Well, I
sure
tell
there's
people,
sleepless nights.
oh yeah, always. That's what the edibles are for. But I tell people all the time. I tell people all the time, like, yeah, listen to my story, but mostly what I want you to take out of it, because you're not going to be able to recreate my
No,
steps. You won't be.
no,
Able, people have tried and they failed. They
yes,
tried to go to El Tadine Bronze and Sandy told them no.
yes,
You're not no. So you can't follow my footsteps exactly. But what you can take from me was the dedication and the perseverance and the fact that I wouldn't give up. You can take that.
yes,
And you use that
yes,
not only for the cigar industry, any fucking business that you want to start,
yes.
anything that you got in your mind that you think might be hot and might work. Yo, what you
Read,
waiting on? Go after it.
going, keep going.
The worst thing you do is, I mean, we've all failed a bunch of times. if you never try, that's a fail.
Yes.
So, try. It may not work out, but at least you tried though.
Good God. I'm going to end the show there. I couldn't have fucking said it
Mm.
better than myself. That was awesome. Try, people. Try in your life. I'll tell you what, the one thing I subscribe to is you show me your 5 closest friends, I'll show you where you end up in life. I am a firm believer of that. It only
Yeah.
takes a little bit of effort to start and then a ton to finish. But if you
Yeah.
have a little bit in the start and a little drive,
Mm-hmm.
that little bit can grow and blossom into something you never thought could happen. And by
Right.
God, I love your story, dude. You
Oh, thank
wrapped
you,
it
brother.
up absolutely, absolutely fantastic. Follow your
Mm-hmm.
passion. And of course, Danny coming. I keep promoting being gods of gifts to women. Yes, Danny, you are
Dan,
for
what's up,
sure.
brother?
Danny was a
You are the
Danny,
God's gift to women, Dan.
Danny was a big follower of yours from the beginning. Danny, Danny
Yeah, that's my man.
was the one that turned me on to you in the beginning, and
Mm-hmm.
I love him for it.
Yeah, I
But
got to make a return to his show too.
well, now you can because you've been on mine. I love Danny. I love Danny.
Yeah, that's my
Absolutely.
guy. I love him.
I so much,
Mm-hmm.
so much. But in all seriousness, man, the way you just ended the show, as far as what you just said, I couldn't have said it better. Try.
Yeah,
If you don't try, you will always fail. If you
yeah,
try and fail, you never
yeah.
fully fail. You at
Right.
least try. And
Mm-hmm.
so,
Mm-hmm.
with that, Aric, thank you so much for coming on the show. I hope you had a great
Anytime, brother.
time. And
Yeah,
to
I'm looking
all
forward
those
to the next
watching,
one.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I won't get you for the dojo release, but let's talk about coming on shortly after. Because
Okay, sound like a plan.
I'd love to have you on for that. So thank you so much, Craig. Thank you so much for everybody watching the show. And to all the manufacturers that make this show possible, BAMF Cigars, ROCF Cigars, Kristoff Cigars, Sagrado Cigars, Micallef Cigars, Big Sky Cigars, Cornell and Diehl Pipe
Mm-hmm.
Tobacco, La Aurora, West Tampa Tobacco, Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, and of course, the big man over at Smoking Cigars, as you have been watching the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show here at the Smoking Studios. Thank you so much for joining us on another live Thursday night episode. And until we see you again, smoke what you like, smoke as often as you can, and have a great, great rest of your week. Bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Peace.
Cheers.